okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that. I'm okay with that. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Medley. Oh, it's like icy. The video feed is icy somehow. Anywho, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Medley number 284. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna start the medley now, so that I will have. Hi, Audrey. I will start the medley now, so that I will have time to actually talk at 10 o'clock. But it's 9:01. I'm gonna try to go all the way until 10 o'clock, guys. This hoodie's itchy. Stay away from me. Sorry, there is a wasp. December in LA means nothing. it a full hour, guys. I made it a full hour. I went by really fast, though. Audrey says Jazzy Key Lime. Yeah, Key Lime was stuffed in there somewhere. Lindsay says vanilla. Vanilla was stuffed in there somewhere. Mmm. Good morning, Los Angeles. Paulina says, the washing machines that I used to do in schools, sorry, just makes you appreciate being alive, man. Wow, I don't understand, but, hi Paulina. Welcome to the stream. RP Vibe says, Cyber, there were some ARPs thrown in there. I hope everybody had a really good Wednesday. Mine was mostly spent on, here's the thing, guys. I spend all day looking at a screen, working on music, driving myself crazy, and then I just want to play video games. And it sucks because video games are also a screen, so I go into the living room and I turn on the TV and I try to play a video game, and like 30 minutes in, I start to feel like I'm molding in place. Anyways, what do you think is the hardest song you've made to be put into Morning Medley? That's a good question. I would say that my hardest song to perform, it changes, right? Like, I think that just face value, I think my hardest song was probably Clover Salad for a really long time, because it has a lot of weird like swing rhythm, and there's just a lot of notes thrown in, maybe even unnecessarily, if I'm being honest. Some of those notes are unnecessary. Like this one. There's just like a lot of stuff thrown in there. I think that Clover Salad's really hard. But it now that I've played it so often, Audrey, it doesn't pose the challenge that it used to. I would say that my hardest song right now to get through without messing up might be Home, this song. I'm proving my point now. It just does a lot of really weird, not weird just musically, but weird specifically to me in the way I play, weird chord changes. It's playing, I don't know how many of you guys were there for the birth of that song, but it used to be played here. Which are chords that I naturally play in a lot of my songs. That chord shows up in a lot of my songs. Those chords. Remember that? Anyways, I transposed it because I didn't want to play it on so many white keys. I wanted to throw in some black keys. So I moved it from here. I moved it from there to here. And playing it here, I like the way it sounds, but these chords are not chords that I normally hit, so it still poses a challenge to me, and I don't play it quite often enough in the stream anymore for it to have become like a muscle memory type thing. So I would say that right now, maybe that's my most challenging song. Audrey. Thank you for asking. How did Over and Under start? Over and Under started... I actually used to... The funny thing about that, Pro, is I actually used to have two songs that had this waltzy rhythm. When I first moved out to LA, I had... Not Over and Under. I didn't have Over and Under, but I had a song that was like, not this. It was like... It was like something like that. very saloony though, the way I would play it. Sometimes I would play it instead of in a waltzy rhythm. I would play it just like dun 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 like that, like that. I play it like that, and then I ended up morphing that song into a waltz rhythm, and then I forgot like all of the intricacies of that song, and then when trying to recreate that song, I ended up creating Over and Under, which is very different in sound, but sometimes when you're like not recording or writing and reading your music that you make, you don't always just forget stuff. That's an important thing. I think a lot of people think that I make songs, I forget songs. I make songs, I record songs, I forget songs, I relearn songs. But something does happen since you are you and you're playing music, hopefully, pretty often. Even if you forget things, Crow, a lot of those ideas will resurface in other songs. Like there were several times where I've been making a song and I've been like, "Oh, this is so good," and then I've gone back and listened to one of my old other like works in progress or throwaway tunes or beats, and I'm like, "Oh, I did this chord progression already, or I did this melody line already, or I did this drum trick already," you know. And I think that Over and Under is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of other songs that had been forgotten. As far as rhythm, the melody line though was just an art. The melody line was just me taking this chord and making an arp out of it. And I just split it up to make a more like complicated pattern out of it. But it's really just that chord arpeggiated. And then I just move to the other chord. The core notes are here. You get it. Silent film type beat, says Lindsay. Yeah. Those like honky tonks. The honky tonks? The funny thing about those honky tonkies, the honky tonk rhythms, is I can't play the jazzy chords I typically like to play on them. They're almost like allergic to jazzy chords. When you add a jazzy chord, it loses actually some of its character. So it's a challenge for me to just play, these simple chords. Because I want to play like. And those don't necessarily work in that like saloon style. I don't know if the people in the saloon were playing jazz. They obviously weren't because jazz hadn't been invented yet. Want to make that clear. Might be hard. Omni played it easily. Well, no. I didn't play it that easily. I butchered it a little bit. I butchered it a tiny, tiny bit. What about which song is the hardest to blend into others? There's a hair in my mouth, and I don't know whose it is. Witchy used to be really hard to blend, right? Witchy used to be really hard to blend, specifically for this chord, this one, which doesn't appear in any of my other songs, not even once. It's not a chord that I play. And so it's hard to get into since that's the first chord of the song. I would say that's Witchy's really hard to get into and kind of hard to get out of. Now that I'm making more music in that same vein, it's a little bit easier to get into. That song was always tough to get into, but I think Witchy might be the only one. A lot of my other songs do kind of share chords with each other and rhythms for the most part. Witchy's hard to get into because of chords. This song is hard to get into because of its rhythm. Where is it? Crap. Oh my god, Omni. Whoa. I don't remember what that is, guys. Sometimes you don't analyze your own your own creations until somebody else comes into the picture and they're like, what is that? I think that rhythm. What is that? Oh, maybe it's fine. Whoa, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a weird rhythm. It's not a weird rhythm, actually. It's the same as this. So I can go. Come on, Omni. Do it right. It's really hard, actually. It's hard because I've just learned in muscle memory of one rhythm or one arrangement. I should say arrangement because the rhythm, the time signature is the same, but the way the chords are played are a little odd instead of even. Instead of it's like lopsided. I love lopsided beats. Okay, Liam says, turn on rock distortion sounds really bad when you don't know what you're doing with your hand. Distortion and overdrive are two things. I think I used quite a bit of overdrive in the song Six Zella, in the second half of it. And overdriving synthesizers is something that I do thoroughly enjoy doing. It's just also something that I think can get out of hand very quickly. It's kind of like reverb. I really do need to get a new reverb. I think I'm getting a new reverb actually sometime next week. I think I'm gonna pick up like a Valhalla thing or something. I might hit the streets and do some research. Distortion is sick, but very unwieldy, says Umbe. Yeah. I'm more comfortable with distortion than I am with reverb. Reverb is so annoying to me. Reverb, I think, even as somebody who uses reverb as much as I do, reverb is one of the last, for me anyway, it's one of the last invisible effects, you know? I don't feel like I can get a good sense of how much headroom it's taking up, even when I have like a dB meter. I'm sorry, I'm just saying a lot of stuff, but like even when I'm looking, reverb is so tricky. It's so, like, you can get carried away really quick. Get the Valhalla one and preview it on Friday. Ooh. Maybe Umbe. That sounds like a good idea. I'd have to do it at some point today then. To have it ready by tomorrow night. Oh, also, God. I mean, I'm going to say this again when we get to news, but Friday's stream has been pushed back 6 hours. My body hurts even as I'm saying it. My body is aching. But it has been pushed back from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to the time 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's confusing. The fact that it's a 6-hour stream and it's being pushed back exactly 6 hours makes the times kind of confusing, but the stream is going to be starting at 3 p.m. for me instead of 9 a.m. for me. Am I going to name it Evening Medley is the question that my brain just asked me. Naming a morning medley seems true to form, but inaccurate. So I'll be thinking about that. Yeah, this Friday's gonna be a night stream. It'll be interesting having people leave the stream specifically to go to bed instead of other things. And it'll also be interesting because since I don't normally stream at night, I know there's probably, maybe, sort of, who knows, going to be people that never come into the production stream that'll finally be able to for one time only. I don't know, people that live in like other countries and whatnot. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that, Audrey. Maybe I'll just put not in parentheses. Because I do like the alliteration. And I don't want to come up with another E word. Or N word. You must look inward. Okay, alright. But yeah, I'm gonna go over that again in more specifics when I get to the actual like news. Remember that one thing that was like. Remember, no, it was like. I can't remember what that extra chord was that went after the third chord. I'll relearn it. I'll relearn it. Anyway, just reminding you, says Audrey, that you might want to make a smoothie halfway through the stream. I did say that, didn't I? But the stream's already half over. Oh, if you're talking about Friday's stream, I'm definitely gonna do it Friday. I'm probably not gonna do it in this one. I'm probably gonna make my smoothie at the very end of the stream because I still gotta make breakfast. Something that is always pretty interesting to me about chords and delivery is sometimes it's not nightly production, says Crow. Why is nightly all in caps? Can I hear Louis BM night drift too? Sure, why not? I say this a lot, but sometimes I just hear the notes in my head and I go directly to them without needing to know. And I don't know what that is. If that's just me developing a more intimate relationship with my keyboard, or if it's luck. I guess it could be a little bit of both, huh? Can we get 284? Oh, welcome back, Cyber. Yeah, I feel like Ube's the only, I wouldn't even say the person that requests Midnight Drift 2 the most. I would say the only human that requests that song. So you can have it, Ube. Midnight Drift 3, it's yours. This is sound number 50, Cyber, which is not what you asked for. 284, okay. It's called Modular Synth Bass, which already makes me a little uncomfortable because this is not a synthesizer, nor is it a piece of modular gear, nor does it have good bass frequencies. So my confidence is low. I'm not disappointed, but yeah, I am. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I'm disappointed. This sucks. But some of those bass notes are pretty sick, and it is a bass instrument. What's that sound like? I kind of like that. Oh, it's too loud now. No. I like, oh, maybe it only sounds good in 284 to me. It's just a good bass. It's a good bass sound. Okay. Kind of sounds like the GTA 3 theme. Whoa, I do not remember that theme. Da, da, It kind of doesn't work with sounds that don't sustain a lot. Hold on. There we go. GTA 3, I remember having one of the longest loading screens, and because it was just, it just flashes the slideshow of all the characters and how none of them actually look like that in game. Something that's always really interesting to me too about, I mean, while I'm on just the topic of games and art, is when I would like when I would look in a booklet at what the characters look like, you know, the character art, whether it was a Final Fantasy game or it was a fighting game or whatever, and I would look at the character and I was like, wow, they look so cool. And then I would fire up the game and the character basically looked nothing like that. I'm looking at you, Final Fantasy Tactics. It didn't bother me because I guess it didn't bother me. I don't know. The idea of ever turning on a game and being able to see anything that looked anything like the art that was on the cover was not necessarily a thing I expected or even necessarily wanted from games. But it is interesting because I remember when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out and like all the art of the characters came out and then you actually see them in game. I didn't even recognize some of them. There were several times where like they're doing the slideshow and I'm asking my friend, I'm like, who is that? Are they even in the game? And he's like, yeah, don't you remember Mission 4 or whatever? And then I see them in game and I'm like, that's them? God dang. Anyways, it's we've got a few more minutes. We've got a few more minutes left. I'm gonna. I love this. I can do something with this. Wait, how do I do that? Oh, guys, I forgot how to play piano. Oh, is that right? Okay. That scared me for a second. I do like this. This is fun. This is fun. Welcome back, Liana. No, that's wrong. Da, da, da. Maybe that is right. No, that's wrong. Maybe that is right. Yeah, I guess that's it. Interesting. I'm gonna have to play that more towards the end. I might actually come back and look at this later and try to figure out what the heck I did there. Because it just sounds good. I'm trying not to just continue playing it over and over. Sorry, guys. You're right, Cyber. It kind of did. It kind of did. Just messing around with it. Something feels off about so. I guess it is right. I just maybe that. Maybe. No, that's not it. Should like be like. Maybe it's because I'm trying to jumble it. I'm trying to take this and turn it into. I'm trying to turn it into this. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go. nonsense. Pretty interesting seeing which things lead to new songs. Yeah, horrible dookie sounds, um, leftover burrito meat. Leona says, "Oh whoa, oh did Cybernaut know what Alsa was? Who cares about Alsa? Am I right? Don't quote me on that. I have relationships I need to foster." Anyways, what made you name most of your albums ending in Dream? Says Crow. Well, if I'm being honest, Nice Dream was just called Nice Dream because it was a play on words. It was a play on the word ice cream. Because a lot of the songs at the time, a lot of my songs were very like sweet and bubbly. They were called things like, I don't know, Boba Snap and Fruity Gumdrop and Hello Sugarberry. It was like stupid stuff like that. That's how I named my songs. And so Nice Dream was just a play on words because I couldn't name the EP the Ice Cream EP. And then when I came out with a follow-up EP, my little sophomore EP, I wanted to keep theme. I wanted to keep theme with the first one. I wanted people to see the second one come out and be like, oh, it's like the Carter 2 or the Blueprint 2 or any other album series that artists have. But I didn't want to call it Nice Dream 2 because that felt presumptuous. It was like presuming people even cared about Nice Dream. I was like, if people didn't listen to Nice Dream and didn't know it existed, I didn't want them to see this release and be like, oh, do I need to go back and listen to that first thing? And so I called it Love Dream to keep that theme up. Once I had made Love Dream, Crow, I feel like I was like, oh, I'm establishing a hold on. Anyways, I felt like I was establishing a theme, a habit, a frequent pattern, whatever you want to call it. And so Nice Dream and Love Dream existed when I made other music, Crow, in that same era, time and place that weren't dream themed. It was just kind of like, oh, this I feel like it's an energetic, lovey poppy whatever thing, and so I called it Love Dream. When I made Speed Dream, I felt like the music was also bubbly and fun, and it was a collection of work. So I was like, this is going to be also in the Dream series. What can I call this? And I'm like, Speed Dream. That sounds good. When I made Daydream, I had actually broken away from that sound. I would say Speed Dream was kind of like my last release, and that sound, whatever we're calling that sound, that Nice Dream and Less Dream left. So when I made Daydream, by that point, I felt like I had established just a series. And when I felt good about something, when I felt like something was a complete body of work, I put the dream moniker on it, right? So like Tall Tales was more like just kind of a random collection of my more experimental stuff. So I didn't put dream on the end of that. That felt more like just like loose fun. Signals felt like a huge departure from my sound, and was more so made because of the stream, because there were songs that I would play in the stream that didn't match my SoundCloud, so I was kind of making it more so for the people that just liked hearing me play piano. And so Signals didn't feel like a mainline Omni Boy release. And House of Omni, I didn't have complete creative control over it, right? Because it's a collaborative EP, so I only had 50% of the control over that EP. Granted, the other 50% was shared amongst several artists, but since I didn't have direct control over it, or even the majority of the control over it, I would say it didn't necessarily always sound the way I wanted it to sound. Like Embrace didn't sound like it would if I had just made it by myself. Whisper doesn't sound like it would if I just made it by myself. Waiting doesn't sound like it would if I had made it alone. So I didn't feel like this was like a quintessential Omni Boy release, so I didn't put Dream on it. Basically, there's a lot of weird story stuff that goes on between and references between the Dream series, for sure, Crow. But I I would say to keep from overthinking it, the reason the Dream series exists is because those are a way to pick through my discography for like mainline releases. If you're somebody that looks at my discography and you go, or catalog and you go, ew, 170 songs. There's no way I'm gonna listen to all these. And good on you. Um, I've tried to do some of the work for people and weed out some of the songs that aren't necessarily the quintessential Omni Boy releases. I've said, oh, don't worry about Tall Tales, don't worry about Signals, don't worry about all these random loose singles that kept coming out, don't worry about the remixes, don't worry about too many of the collaborations, don't worry about my song with Bougie, don't worry about my song, on Draxel, don't worry about my song on, sorry, Gaxel. Don't worry about my songs on Attack the Music. Don't worry, like I have songs everywhere. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. If you're trying to just listen to the Omni Boy music, I've organized these specific releases that I feel like successfully chart my path sonically from whenever they started until now. And then, of course, even that collection of work, Crow, became very bloated because Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Daydream, Lush Dream is like a lot of music. I mean, it's a lot of music. Is it 100 songs yet? Lush Dream's like 30 something. Daydream's 10. That puts us up to 40. Speed Dream is 22. So that puts us up to 60 something. Love Dream and Nice Dream are both roughly 5 tracks. So it's 10. It's about 70 songs, right? Even if you're only listening to the Dream series, it's about 70 songs. So I haven't. Maybe I need to come up with some new editorial, right, to keep the list small. But I'm probably going to put out a Dream thing next year, probably. Will you ever have a dream again? Yes, probably in 2021. Leona. I say no music game players, not record labels. It's fine. It's cool. I don't even know record labels. Yo, you know what's like? Never mind. I've said this before in the stream a lot of times. But, and this isn't a complaint, it's just like a really weird thing. Sometimes, guys, sometimes you put a lot of weight on a thing. You're like, if I learn music theory, I will probably become a musician, and a good one at that. And then you realize, hey, maybe that's not necessarily true. And then you think, yo, if I move to New York City, I'll become a good jazz musician. Probably not necessarily true, right? There's great jazz musicians everywhere. You say to yourself, yo, if I could just get in the door, if I could just get these people to listen to my song, if I could just get the A&R dude at Capitol Records to listen to my song, that's my foot in the door, baby. You tell yourself these wild things. None of it's true. It's all lies. Crow says Weird Dreams coming in 2021. Weird Dreams is like Tall Tales. If such a weird dream exists. But yeah, guys, none of that stuff is true. Don't try not to get too preoccupied on stuff like that. Just know that usually once you get the thing that you think you need, nothing magical happens. Nothing magical happens. You know what I thought I really needed? Don't get me wrong, some of those things are really great. When I was a musician, yikes. When I was a musician, like a beginning musician, I used to just, I mean, I think everybody does this, but you like listen to music and you put your head down and then you like fantasize about cool things, like, I don't know, maybe you like somebody in junior high and so you imagine yourself like beating up a bunch of people. Why is it always violent? If I liked somebody and I was like in grade school or in junior high, I always imagined myself like beating up just a wave of random dudes. I blame movies, but usually yeah, the person I liked was on the other side of it. I think I just wanted to fight. I don't even think I liked the person that much, but I used to always do that. Yeah. You got it, Liana. I always would imagine like the person that I like on the other side of like I don't know, like 30 dudes, and I'm just like I'm like shredding human. I'm shredding human bodies to get to the other side. And where was this going? Oh yeah, I used to like that was a big thing for me for a pretty long time. Um, because I thought that if I could just get there and like talk to these people, it would be that would be the thing that did it. That would be the thing that did it. Oh, is that gonna be Night Dream? Says Lindsay. Night Dream is the name of a folder in Fruity Loops, but not necessarily the name of an EP slash album to come. I have a lot of folders just named something Dream. I also have a folder. I mean, you guys have probably seen it, but anyways, I'm gonna move on. I think that Fight Fantasy is dope. By the way, Fight Fantasy, Fight Fantasy. I might name a song Fight Fantasy. I may. I might get in a fight tonight. But anywho, I remember that was a big thing, and I had put so much weight on like um, putting on music and then like putting my head down and like imagining like just like shredding through like 30 people, yeah, like and getting to the other side. I'd put my head down sometimes and listen to I listen to. Do you guys know who Deltron is? You guys listen to Deltron 3030? Probably not. Anyways, I used to listen to Deltron and like imagine I was Deltron. I would listen to like random like rappers and imagine I was them like on a stage somewhere at like Club Reds. Don't worry, it's some hip hop club in Arizona. But I was like on the stage at Club Red and everybody was like, "Wow, King." This was before I had ever played a show, so I didn't really know what shows were like. But I thought music videos are a pretty good judge of what a concert actually was like. I do and still do, says Crow. It makes me feel good. Yeah, I would do crap like that, or I would like listen to Atreyu. Does anybody remember the band Atreyu? Ugh, I put on some Atreyu yesterday while I was playing Genshin Impact, and I was like, God dang, I forgot how much I love this music. Anyways, I would like listen to Atreyu and imagine that I was like in the band, like wiling out, and it never happened, but I would think about that a lot. Priming myself for performance. I think about that a lot. And I think in that, and like all of that fantasizing and all of that head down, oh, one day I'm going to be a Atreyu. I had built up the show, to be this thing, this universal validator, this boost, this key, this like secret where it was like, yo, you're a musician? Sure, that's cool. But have you played a show though? Like, let me know when you play a show. Like, the second you play a show, you go from being a musician to a performer, and a performer is completely different. A performing artist? You kidding me? You basically become Fall Out Boy at that point. You become Kanye West. And so, I remember I put so much weight on the show. And whenever people at the high school I went to would talk about bands, they were like, oh, my band's playing a show. You should come see us. I'm just like, dang. The immediate envy and sadness I would feel when I was just like, God, they're playing shows? How do you even play a show? That weirdness of like going like, I have a keyboard in my house. How do I go from playing keyboard in-house to playing show in front of crowd? How do I even do that? How do people know I exist? Where are these shows happening? What is a venue? Like, I don't know names of venues. How do people know how to find this stuff? I just didn't know. Hey, what's up, Erwan? I just didn't know. And I thought that the second I did, it was going to be, it was going to change things. And I can remember my first show was thrown in by the like local alternative rock radio station. They would do this thing where it wasn't quite Battle of the Bands. they would just throw on random shows in local areas featuring young new talent, you know. And I don't know how it happened because in a lot of my musical projects, I'm kind of just the dude that has head down making music while somebody else is like doing all the networking and talking to booking agents, booking shows, talking to managers, getting studio dates, and I'm just kind of like head down. I don't know what's really going on. And so I remember we got a show. My band Lyra got a show. The band that I was in with a dude I mentioned the other day that didn't wear sandals. Anyways, we got a show, and we were playing at Fountain Hills. We were playing at Fountain Hills, which is like really you kind of have to drive a ways to get there. Think of it like Palm Springs. If you don't know what Palm Springs is, there's this thing that happens in the desert where all of the crumbs and the hoodlums and the trash humans like myself live in the valley, and then all the dope affluent people live in like the hills, and then the rich people live in the mountains because everybody equates, I guess, the amount of money in their bank account to the altitude they choose to live at. So anyways, Fountain Hills is up pretty high, hence the name Fountain Hills. So you drive up there. We're playing at a high school. We played at a high school cafeteria, which was a little weird, but I think because it was my first show, I was so hype and I was like, this is it. This is what's going to change everything. Like all of those times, like practicing in the garage, practice spaces, playing bass in my room, like this is it. I've trained for this moment. We played. It was whatever. I mean, I think I was excited and happy at the time just to be playing a show, but all things considered, it was like whatever. And I think even after the high vanished, I would say the high lasted for about one full day. After that, we went and got steak burgers at a local steak burger joint, which is delicious. And then me and one of the other members went to that doesn't matter. I'm talking too much. Point is the show happened and it was fine. Then after about a day, I woke up the next morning and I was like, that was fine. Now I need to play at like a real venue. Cause I'm not Fall Out Boy yet, you know. I'm not somehow I'm not Patrick Stump yet. I guess in the Fall Out Boy analogy, I would actually be Pete Wentz. I was the bass player. But anyways, I'm not Pete Wentz yet, so I must play at like a real venue. Then I played a show at a place called... Oh crap, what was that place called? The Space? The Place? It had one of those like stupid, very vague names like The Spot or The Place or The Space. Or That Place? I think it was called That Place. Anyways, played a show there. It was chill. People came. It was in Phoenix, which was really exciting for me because going into like downtown Phoenix was always like... It was like going into New York City for, you know, people like me. Anyway, then after that I was like, no, I need to play in like a venue. This is like a bar. Then I played in a venue. And then after that I was like, I need to play in like a theater. Like, what would it be like to play at Marquee Theater and have my band's name on the marquee? Like, take a photo. That's real. That's real Pete Wentz. Then I did that. And I was like, oh, I need a tour. And then that didn't do it. And then I kept doing stuff, you know. And I kept growing, and I kept becoming better at what I was doing, and getting more like notoriety, and making more friends, and like business acquaintances, and making more money, and getting success. But I never quite became Pete Wentz, and I think that's important. I think if anything's taken away from this long end of stream rant, sounds of LA. I think if I can take anything away from that and give it to you all, it's that even now I'll do that sometimes. Even now I'll do that. Even now, like I'll be walking around. Or a friend of mine. This actually happened, right? So I can say, I'll just remove all the names. So, a friend of mine was an intern. They were an intern at Universal Music Group. So UMG is exactly what it sounds like. It's kind of like a record label slash music company slash publisher, obviously owned by Universal, which you guys know Universal, Universal Studios, Universal Media. So my friend was interning for Universal Music Group, and this was pretty early. This was like 2016, I want to say, for me. 2016, maybe 2017. Um, and which isn't early. It's just like I wasn't. You guys didn't. You guys weren't in the stream probably. I don't even know if there was a stream. Um, so they take me. They're like, you can come to my work and like shadow me. They're like, yeah, I'm allowed to like bring people. You just like don't mess with anything. Don't touch anything. And I was like, oh, that's so sick. Because in 2017, I have lived here for a couple of years, but LA is still like there's a lot of LA that's closed off to me. There's a lot of LA that's closed off to all of us, right? Like I can't just walk into Spotify HQ. I can't just walk into Netflix HQ, even though I walk past it, several times a week. I can't go in because I'm not a Netflix man. Hold on. Charlie says, haven't seen you in a while. Glad to be back. Oh, it's nice to have you, Charlie. Thanks and welcome. But, my friend is an intern. Or was. I don't know what she does now, but she took me, she was like, oh, you can come, and I can, like, kind of show you what I do every day. And I was like, that's pretty dope. So we go. And I get to see, like, the lot, which is very cool. For any of you guys that have been to Universal Studios, there is, like, a back lot where they shoot a lot of their movies. And you can actually go on a tour of it. But the tour is kind of like you sit on, like, a really long golf cart, basically. And they just drive you around and go, and that's where they shot Smallville. And that's where the restrooms are. And you don't really get to do anything. But when I was with my friend, like, I was, like, I wasn't confined to a golf cart. I was, like, walking around, like, into some of these studios, and she was like, oh, and that's where they shoot that. And, like, I actually got to walk through, and it was so cool. It was very cool. Getting to actually talk to people and stuff. But something that, like a weird learning experience for me is I wasn't, like, people there knew who I was, which was really weird to me. Which was both exciting and upsetting. Because it was like, and I've kind of talked about this before, where it's like we're walking around and then somebody would be like, oh, hey, wait, are you Omniboy? And like talk to me for a little while, have some really nice things to say, and like, I don't know, we leave, me and my friend, who I literally had to be attached to or else I would have gotten kicked out, because I just had a visitor pass. We would leave somewhere, and then she'd be like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so, they do this, blah, 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 that's really cool. And she's in like work mode. And in my brain, I'm like, I thought, Charlie, I never went to North Carolina. I went to South Carolina, though. Anywho, I thought, just, if I can play a show, I will become Pete Wentz. And then I had this new thing where I was like, if I could just get into a major studio and like give them my card. This is hypothetical. I don't have cards. I probably should have cards. Anyways, if I went into the studio and I gave them my card, they would be like, Omniboy, Music Man here. Let me just put that in my chest pocket, and next time we're making a big film, we're gonna get you on the next Fantastibeasts. How would you like to be the soundtrack of Fantastibeasts? That's how you do it. That's like networking, right? So to get in there and then these people like already knew who I was like upsetting. I was like, what the heck? Why am I not on Fantastibeasts? Exactly like after playing my first show, and I was like, why am I not Pete Wentz yet? You never really become the thing. You just become a cooler version of yourself. Church or chorus. That's the positive thing I can give you on this. Umbe says, you don't have cards? Umbe, I don't have cards. I want to say, Umbe, I have a take about cards. Anyways, Umbe says, man, I wish I could become cool already. This waiting stuff is lame. I mean, I still haven't become cool yet. I didn't say become cool. Just a cooler version of yourself. We're always getting a little bit cooler. I don't know that I'm cool. I don't know that I ever will be cool, but I hope that one day I'll be cooler than I am today at 11 a.m. on a Thursday. Have you looked into jazz standards, jazz progressions? I have not, Charlie. I have not. Um, I don't really play. I don't really play other people's music much. So like things like jazz standards and like the real book, or like learning Silent Night, or learning this. I don't really like learn other people's music, so I haven't looked into that. And as far as jazz progressions, um, yeah, also no. I also haven't done that. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. I could, I could, uh, I could elaborate, but I probably won't because I don't want to beat you over the head with nonsense. But I have not. The answer to that question is no. So, Umbe, I remember there was a time where when I moved to LA, and so this is to say, Umbe, I have had cards before. I've had, let's say, I've had contact memorabilia before, and there used to be this really interesting like, what's the word? There's an art to the card, you know, like what is a good card? What kind of paper is it on? What does it say on it? What's the typeface? Are you putting too much information? Are you putting not enough information? How big is your name? Are you just going like the plain like flat colors? Or are you putting a picture of yourself on? Is there a cool infographic or something like that? There's like there was a whole hierarchy of cards, and I remember something happened very slowly but surely. Where I think cards, I actually used to do cards a lot, especially when I lived in Arizona, before, um, before there was a lot of internet stuff. Before everybody was just LinkedIn and on social media and stuff like that. I think cards now, to me, and this again, this is a very very specific to me, my bubble or whatever. Cards to me in Los Angeles have have become a thing that you only use when you're talking to somebody that's very old, or when you would like to give somebody some garbage that they can throw away as soon as you're out of eyesight. People hate cards. And when I say people, I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about in my specific like cone of industry. People kind of hate cards. If you give them to them, they'll smile and they'll pretend that they like it, but they're gonna put it in a giant stack of other cards that people have given them, or they're gonna throw it away. I think that honestly, the thing that goes where the card used to be like a sign of professionalism, honestly, now is the cosign. A cosign is your card. If you meet somebody and somebody that they trust goes, this dude's sick, they're gonna just care about who you are, regardless of if you have a card or if you have sick stuff. Like the cosign is very important, and engineering a cosign is honestly like 70% of music industry. I feel that cosign could be anything. The cosign could be your manager. The cosign could be your musician who's also a friend. A cosign could be going on a tour opening up for a musician that's slightly larger than you. A cosign could be working with a musician that is a little bit larger than you are. A cosign could be getting signed by a label, which is kind of like a sign of legitimacy. A cosign could be so many things, but I feel like the cosign in my sphere and bubble and industry has kind of replaced the card. Um, Now, that being said, I do think managers still have cards and booking agents still have cards for sure. But I think that musicians and the artists themselves rarely, very rarely, are tossing out cards like that. Hmm. I only give them out if people ask for them and seem mildly interested in my work, says anybody. Word up, word up. Fully aware that they might end up in the trash. Worth a shot, though. Absolutely. Never, never just give up on something because you think it's a bad idea. But yeah, I think if I could look at all of the opportunities that I've been afforded and that I've earned, I would say very very few of them were because I gave somebody a card. And that's just my specific experience. Most of the opportunities that I've gotten is because somebody saw me work and thought, "Oh, that's cool," and then ignored me for like a year, and then somebody else that was dope, was like, "Oh, Omni, yeah, we know that dude," and then the opportunity opened up. Very rarely have I ever walked into an environment and just wowed people with my skill and then gotten work. Usually I'll do a thing and they'll go, "That's pretty freaking dope, dude." And then somebody else, another person, somebody at Cartoon Network goes, "Oh, that guy? Yeah, that guy's dope." And then suddenly I have an email. Cosigns are pretty important. Anyways, we've gone over. The news again, guys. Tomorrow's stream is not gonna happen at 9 a.m. It's gonna feel weird for me. I don't know if it's gonna feel weird for you, but it's gonna feel distinctly weird waking up on a Friday and just not doing anything in the morning. I mean, I'm gonna be working obviously, but I mean not doing any of this bit. So for tomorrow, the stream is going to be taking place at 3 p.m. I am going to be in the Discord reminding everybody a lot before it happens. Yeah, it does suck, doesn't it, Umbe? I'm sick of Thursdays. I will be starting the stream at 3 p.m. There might be an internet snafu, but if there is, I will, start another stream as I always do. It's still going to be 6 hours, so I'm going all the way to 9 p.m. I understand that this is very late for some of you guys. So for some of you, instead of having to leave to start your day or go to work or whatever, you're going to have to leave just to go to sleep. So I understand that. Stay for however long you want. If you would like to dip out early, or even come in late, I guess no hard feelings. But we're not going to be going over the remix that was last week. This week, I'm going to be refining some songs that I already made in previous streams. We're actually not going to be going over Picture This and Just Believing, because those songs have officially started upon their homeward path. Their path home. They're very, very close to being I need to start mixing this for mastering. I need to start working on pre-masters. They're getting to that point. Just Believing just needs some bridge work. Picture This. Yeah, Just Believing just needs some bridge work, some more vocal tuning. And Just Believing just needs a second verse, and then some mixing, and then I'm going to push those things to pre-masters. So we're going to be spending most of the time working on newer pieces of work, and maybe I'll even open up Con Man. Maybe since it's late at night, maybe it'll be an ambient stream. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. But I want to say there is a reason why I typically don't stream at night. And I feel generally like a lot of my music, my brain is ready to create when the sun's out. And especially because of the sun going down so early, in the winter, the sun sets here, it's like 5:15 and it's already dark outside. So having a stream that is mostly in the dark, might be weird. It might be difficult, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think that's it as far as news about the stream. I do have quite a bit of music that we talked about earlier. Signals, that's the jazzy one. House of Omni, that's the collaborative one. Tall Tales, that's the experimental one. Love Dream, that's the indie pop one. Nice Dream is kind of the hyper pop one. It is though. I'm gonna say it. Whatever. Screw them. It's the hyper pop one. Speed Dream is the narrative one. Daydream is the one with the orchestral break beats. Lush Dream is the one with the chill beats. You can find all of those and Quick Breath and Ego Death on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. YouTube also has some exclusives there. usually accompanied by a fun little video that I shot in my bedroom, so go check those out when you get a chance. My song recommendation for this stream. Ooh, can I do it? Hold on. Do, 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 do. Made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance. There's nothing finer than the Charleston. Oh, how you can shuffle. Okay, my song recommendation is going to be Computers by Clowncore. That is Clowncore, 2 words, not 1. And the song is Computers. Ooh. I love that song. It's a very good song. Anyways, that'll be my song recommendation for this stream. Ooh, I'll even type it. Oh, wait, can I? Can I even type it? Yeah. And my, I'm still in love with Gift with Tisa Korean, says Erwan. That's pretty funny. Tisa's big now. Tisa's significantly bigger. DMCA by typing in the name is funny. Clowncore was featured by Adult Swim, by the way. It was Crow, but that surprises none of us. If you know who Clowncore is, that shouldn't surprise you at all. Honestly, Clowncore will probably even end up in Grand Theft Auto at some point because of who it is. Anywho, okay, so my movie recommendation, or I guess visual media recommendation, is going to be to watch such a good song. I'm gonna say I want to say Ip Man 4, but I don't want to also do that. I'm gonna say watch Cyrano de Bergerac. Watch Cyrano de Bergerac with that dude I like. Oh my god. I love him. What a great man. Watch that. Anyways, probably don't actually. It's very specific to me. I really enjoyed this movie, but I feel like you will not. Also, watch the one that came out in 1990, not the one that came out in 1950, please. Okay, that's gonna be my movie and a song recommendation. Nobody says they remember Clowncore. Word up. Good dudes. The funny thing is, the song Computers is, if you pay attention to the Computers video, that song is actually recorded in the Wiener Schnitzel down the street from my apartment. I know that means nothing to you guys, because you guys don't know where my apartment is, but I used to go there all the time. And so I remember like looking at that video and I was like, that makes sense, because they do live. Well, the drummer / keyboardist lives really close to me, but the saxophone player does not. I think he just comes out here. How do you spell the movie? Do 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 do. If anybody watches this, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of weird French things that I like, which makes perfect sense, but I usually don't recommend them to people. Hello, all user. Welcome to the very final moments of the stream. I think that's it. I think that's all the news, everybody. This song is called Hush Hour. Usually marks the end of the stream. Sorry for coming late. No, you don't have to apologize for that, y'all user. I'm just glad that you made it at all. We're still live, so you didn't miss it. That's it. That's it for the Thursday. I don't know why my middle finger hurts so bad. But that's it for the Thursday, guys. I'll see you here tomorrow. However, again, it will be an evening stream. I will not be here tomorrow morning. I will be in the Discord, I think. Oh God. Sorry, I have so much work I have to do today. Anyways, I will be in the Discord. But I will not be here in the morning. I will be here at 3 p.m. I hope to see you guys as well. I'll probably have to eat dinner in the stream because that definitely encompasses the hours in which I normally eat. But that'll be fine. I'll eat some pizza or something. But thank you everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I hope you enjoy what's left of your day, which should be all of it, but I mean, I know we all don't live in the same country, so I hope you enjoy what's left of your day, guys. See you in the Discord. Abba.